Hey traders, Raghee here. And in this video, we're going to talk about the most recent update to the Countdown Trader and how that's affecting both my commodity futures trading and my stock, index, and sector trading. So the idea here is trade corn, not Apple. All right. And by the way, you can get these new issues from countdowntrader.com. All right. Okay, so let's get to it. And that's a free newsletter. And in the latest issue, what we talked about is really what we're seeing in terms of the reflation trade. We've talked about this in previous videos. We're coming right back to it because it's absolutely 100% still in play. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is when we have reflation, we're going to continue to see the price of goods continue to rally. So whether that's the king of commodities, crude oil, whether this is, you can call it the king of grains. I think probably beans would have something to say about that. But when you talk about the two major grains, soybeans and the soybean meal complex, and then corn, you can see these continue to rally. You can even take a look at Archer Daniels Midland, and it, as the equity markets are struggling, commodities in the reflation trade continue to rally. It's the Archer Daniel Midland tracking with commodities. What else is tracking with commodities? We know that deer and cat have a pretty sensitive relationship as well. Not fixed, right? But so you're seeing that there is a trade that's tethered to those grocery store commodities heading higher. Now let's take a look at Apple. Here's Apple. Completely different story. Where is Apple heavily weighted? XLK, QQQ, SPY. Heck, it's even weighted in the Dow. But nowhere is it more heavily weighted than in the XLK and in the QQQ. And you can see the status of those. That's what's happening. Do I want to be long Apple right now? Do I want to be long tech? Now remember, we're talking as traders. We're not talking about investors. As an investor, completely different story. And that's a whole other part of our lives. So I don't want to get time frame and time horizon muddled here. I'm talking about trades. I'm talking about entries that will keep me in the markets 2 to 3 days to 2 to 3 weeks, right? And right now is not the environment for Apple. However, when we take a look at the corn futures contract, and let's go to the daily time frame, we can see that the pullbacks have done fairly well. They've been supported. I know it's in a little bit of a lull here, but I believe the general trend will continue. And you can see how well it has been doing. So same thing can be said for beans. And I'm not getting off this ride. I think this is clearly the ride is taken off, but I don't think we're even midway yet. I think we're going to continue to see higher highs. We might get some pullbacks here and there. I hope we do. Same thing goes with crude. So here what I'm trying to do is shift my attention to commodities, shift my attention to markets that are going to be sensitive to the increase in the value of these grocery store commodities. So again, trade corn, not Apple. And that's and while it's not any knock against Apple, it really is, I think, a very true statement in this market right now, despite the fact that the Dow is right up there against all-time highs again. Now, the Dow is going to do disproportionately better than the S&P and the NASDAQ in this environment. Think about transports, think about industrials, think about the stocks that are heavily weighted within them, and think about the way in which they're going to continue to move higher with the likes of copper and crude and, yes, grains as well. So you can trade a lot of these markets, including the oil market via USO. Freeport-McMoRan is an excellent proxy to copper. I've shown you the corn ETF in this and previous videos. There's even a soybeans ETF. I've shown you how Archer Daniel Midland is moving higher as well. And by the way, this is not only affecting what's happening in what we're doing in terms of the simpler futures room and some of the swing trades that are taking advantage of these uptrends. This is also the way I'm readjusting my watch list in the Sector Secrets Mastery. And the way in which the futures and the equity markets collide, especially in reflation, is valuable, absolutely valuable to know to make sure your focus in terms of asset class, equities, ETFs, futures, bonds, currencies, and your watch list is spot on. And by the way, just a quick heads up, tomorrow at 9:20 a.m., we're going to be doing a special session in the Sector Secrets room. So, if you want to come join us and see what I'm doing in that room, and also if you want to come join us and see what we're doing in the futures room, come check it out. They are related. You're going to find that they're very hand in glove, especially in this particular environment. All right, I hope this gets you pointed in the right direction. Like I said, trade corn, not apple, and I'll see you in the next update.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me